Hello everyone and welcome to another video. I'm gonna be doing a bit of a live build, so okay, that was my phone. So there's gonna be some keyboard and mouse noises in the background. I hope that they won't be too loud, but I've noticed that this microphone picks them up very well or very poorly. Yeah, it picks them up a lot. As you can see here, in the neighborhood we last left off, yeah, it's pretty much all wall to wall now, and some on the outside are also wall to wall, but I didn't really mind not having all of those wall to wall. So I was how I achieved that, there's this button here where you can control the architecture styles, and I just set it to only European. You can set it to all of them, and that might have also worked, but the way the game works is, if there's like a zone like this, a 1x1 zone, and there's an opportunity for it to develop, which would be caused by there being a demand for residential and the area being of a good amount of land value and desirability, then the game looks at the available types of buildings. So well, I guess it first checks the architecture style and then gets a list of buildings that are available for this lot size. So it checks all the 1x1 buildings, and it tends to pick one with a higher capacity. So this one, it didn't redevelop, also because I made it historical, because I thought it looked it kind of fitted in there. I don't know. I thought it looked kind of cool, but so it tends to prioritize higher capacity, but it also prioritizes higher wealth. So there's like a formula for, because the low wealth ones have like 80 people living in one of these. It's different per lot, I guess, but in general, yeah, the bigger ones have like 80, and in general medium wealth has a lower capacity per area, because medium wealth people tend to need more space for their stuff, I guess, or they just tend to have more money to spend and thus can afford a larger living space, which causes them to have a lower capacity in a medium wealth building. So it tends to also prioritize medium wealth levels. So when it looks at the highest capacity, it counts, for instance, low wealth as 1, and it might count medium wealth as 1.5 or 2, and high wealth as 2 or 4 or whatever. But so it tends to prioritize high wealth. So what I did is I disabled all the other architecture styles, so there would be less building options in the pool, which would make these buildings developing more likely. And it also blocked some of these kind of buildings which had a pretty high capacity. Even though this looks kind of cool, it wouldn't. Yeah, I don't know why I kept this, but I actually made it historical. I think it's because it kind of fits in with the garden, and it makes a little bit of a nice path over there. I don't know. You can be as finicky as you want to be around these kind of things, and I tend to want to be a bit finicky, because I never used to be finicky about this kind of things, and I kind of just want to see what kind of stuff I can build when I do put the extra effort into. And for instance, this house, it was also pretty high capacity, and especially, well, of course it has a larger footprint as well, but I kind of liked it, so I made this little bit of a garden around it, and now it kind of fits in pretty well. and this one redeveloped. By the way, in between episodes I planted a bunch of trees around here and around here, just to fill in this area a bit more and to make it blend into the forest a bit more. The trees that you see over here used to be on the map when I started, and as you can see, if you look closely, they are a bit different from the trees that I manually plant. And I think the colors are just a bit weird, because some of them even have green trunks, and that might just be me not knowing much about trees, but the trees that I've seen tend to not have green trunks, and if they do, they don't tend to have these kind of shades of green, because it's really green. I don't know how to explain it. So anyways, I kind of finished this area. I think it looks pretty amazing. Well, amazing. It looks very nice. It's definitely one of those places where you would want to live if you had the option, I think, because of these nice gardens. Although maybe the homes are a bit cramped, but at the same time they look like they might have some shops here or there. Oh, they don't look like that. Yeah, that's one of those things that has always bothered me a little bit about these city building games. And I'm just gonna go on this tangent while I start building my next project. Yeah, what has bothered me a little bit, I mean, I love these kind of games, but what has bothered me always is the fact that zoning is very unflexible. I don't know how you say it, but in real life, at least from my perspective, buildings don't have only one function, and buildings can have both commercial and residential functions. For instance, in the city centers near where I live, there's always shops on the bottom and then homes on top. And yeah, so the games like this tend to be designed around the American model of city planning. And at some point, because America, I believe, was maybe one of the first to invent or to use a zoning system, and that happened because before they had a zoning system, they didn't really have any rules about what kind of development could grow or be developed where. So what ended up happening was that big factories were being built in the middle of residential neighborhoods, and people were actually getting sick. And yeah, that's capitalism for you, I guess. But yeah, so at some point they decided that, okay, you can't build something. Okay, I'm just gonna put my phone on silent. I'm sorry about that noise. Yeah, at some point they just decided, if you want to build a factory, you can only build it in these kind of areas, and if you want to build a residential neighborhood or a home, you can only build it in these kind of areas. And the upside of that is that you don't get people getting sick because of toxic fumes coming from factories. But the downside of it is that you segregate your functions to such a degree that you end up not being able, well, let's first of all explain, by not mixing functions like shops and residential, it at least in the American suburbs, it ends up causing people to have to use the car every time they go to a shop. And if you're a car manufacturer, that is a good thing, because it means people use their cars more often, which means that yeah, the car just becomes a staple of the American street view, or whatever you'd call that. And another side effect is that cars, if you use them more, they tend to deteriorate fast. Deteriorate? I'm not sure what the word is, but they tend to yeah, they tend to need more maintenance, and at some point people just start buying new cars because the old car is just too old, and it starts to get unreliable. So it means that people end up buying cars more often. I don't know why it's pronounced that T, because I'm pretty sure that it's just often. Yeah, so in the end, yeah, I'm not sure why I'm talking about car manufacturers, but I'm sure that car manufacturers have had a... No, I'm not sure, but I suppose that it might be possible that they actually had a part in the policy of keeping it the way it is, I guess, because yeah, I think by now it should be pretty obvious that having people do everything they want to do and need a car, well, I'm sorry if I'm being a bit weird in how I'm trying to say things, but the way it currently seems to be, because I'm not an American, so I apologize if you are offended by me having an opinion about your country like this, but then it seems like the country America is very happy when other people talk about them, judging from the amount they tend to be in the news. But yeah, it seems like these days, when you do anything, for instance, you go shopping, you go to school, you go to work or whatever, you need to do it by car. And the problem with that is that if you look at the neighborhood there's always going to be a car in the road. There's always somebody going somewhere for some reason and needing to use their car for that. And that results in neighborhoods where you just don't feel safe leaving your kids out in the street. And that's not normal. I mean, for America, I guess it might be normal these days, but... and maybe it's normal for most of the world, but it shouldn't be normal. It should be normal to just have streets where the safety is the highest priority, and then the functional accessibility for cars is like an afterthought. That, I think that should be normal. So I don't know how I got on this tangent anymore, but anyways, I'm just designing this thing. I'm sorry for this rant. I don't know. I do think America is a very nice country. I've been there once. I think in general the people there are a bit nicer than Dutch people, but that might just be the effect that you have from not living there. I'm not sure, but I do think that whenever you visit a country, it always seems like the people there are nicer than they might be in reality. Okay, what am I doing over here? I'm trying to design a little bit of a neighborhood around this train station, and what I'm aiming to do is make another one of these, but not of course an exact copy, but the same general idea of a semi-random road layout with a lot of these cute little homes, and yeah, something like that. It doesn't have to look exactly the same, but I'm aiming to do something like that. But this time I had the idea of using these pedal bike paths for a good portion of that as well. And let's just put some of these down. I'm not sure which look best here. I guess this kinda might make sense. A bit of a newsstand. That fountain look weird. Maybe rotate it. Yeah, some benches are fine. Okay, so I'm planning to do something with these pedal bike paths, and I want them to be a main part of the infrastructure. I'm not sure yet how I'm exactly gonna achieve that, but it seems natural to have this bit of a crossing here. And in the middle over here I'm gonna be planting these small shops and hoping that they develop into the market stalls that you might have seen before, and maybe use some pedals over here. Wouldn't mind a fountain on one of these, maybe the middle one. Okay, we got the fountain, and I guess this makes sense, and maybe put one with the toilet or whatever. No, a bench doesn't really make sense. Phone booth, fine, phone booth. Yeah, let's have one over there as well. So I'm planning to do something with this, but I also had the idea of doing something with the water, with some pond stuff. So I don't know why I laid this out like this already. I think I just started flattening some land, but this is definitely not defining the road layout that I'm gonna be using. Though this bit might be let's not limit my ideas just yet, although limitations tend to provide for more creative solutions. Yeah, so this is a relatively flat town. Let's just turn on the grid so we have a bit more of a general idea what we're looking at. Yeah, so these canals that you're looking at, for those of you who are kind of new to this series, they are part of a Japanese set. I just found them by looking on the forums, and I thought they looked very nice. Downsides about this set is that they aren't functional. There's canals that are functional in some way. I don't really know, I haven't really played around with canals that much. They aren't functional is a downside, and another downside is that there aren't boats, and well, that's something that you could change by just making your own tiles for it with boats, but that's something that most people might not be willing or able to do. So it's not the perfect canal set. Let's see, but it does have a good amount of puzzle pieces, and I think this transition over here makes sufficient sense for me to be able to use it. But what I could do is because there's let's first of all illustrate what I'm talking about. There's these, I thought they are called culverts. Yes. So, well, they are part of the pond system, so I would have to still transition from, oh, there's also this. I don't know what this looks like. It looks weird. Okay, I don't know what the point of those was. It seems like there should be pipes. Okay, what I do know about these is that they are supposed to work with a height difference. So let's go into real menu and look for the height change tool, and let's just make a little area with a 15-meter height difference. I tested oh, wrong button, I'm sorry. I tested these with a 7.5 meter and it didn't really seem... Is this a thing or this? Okay, let's just read what it says in the description. A dam output. Oh, I suppose it's just for simulating a dam or something. So I'm not gonna use that. Yeah, so these need a pretty steep slope. Or maybe... Well, you might be able to... Let's just go into rails and rotate it to get the lowering tool. Because I have an idea. I might be able to use something like this. Let's see what these are, what they look like. Yeah, so maybe you can use something like this. Some of these kind of walls. These walls look pretty cool. Too bad that this concrete bit doesn't change with the custom texture that I'm using for pavement. But I think it looks sufficiently cool to use it maybe. Okay, so I'm thinking about doing something with this. And with it being a 7.5 meter, I think having the streams be a bit sunken makes sense in general because of how water works. Let's just... Oh. Okay. I forgot the tap. And loaded a bit too much. Okay. And this looks... The ground here looks weird still. Okay. For some reason the shadows only disappear when you rotate, I guess. Okay. There's still things I'm learning about the game. So I could make a culvert here and then lower that tile maybe, or this. Yeah, so put like a bunch of those sidings there. Alright, let's just start with the sidings. The sidings were over here. But I haven't worked with these yet. So let's just see what they look like. For some reason there's this. Okay. And what's this? Let's just see. It's a bit of an end piece, I guess. I'm not sure what I'm looking for yet. Let's first of all just... because the siding's gonna be here. Yeah, this one is the first one that will go down, and I'll just make a bit of a ditch over there. And I'm not sure how this is gonna look. With the culvert being here, that means I might need something like that to... Wait. Oh, you can't do Control Z, but there's something similar. You can just do this and then erase it back to normal. Okay, let's just use this to also flatten these out, because the culvert has it's part of the pond, so you need to like make a bit of a transition, and I think a square transition makes a bit more sense than a rectangular one. Okay, I might be very vague in what I'm talking about here. Stanley seawall, ortho light. Let's just see what the difference is, if there is. Oh, there's a light on that one. Okay, cool. Yeah. So the culvert, I think the one with the bricks looks a bit better, maybe. I'm just gonna use it And let's see if it even fits with the pack bond, because I don't think it might not, maybe. It looks a bit weird. It looks quite weird. So is there like a system for yeah, so that's not gonna work. I thought I had culverts especially for pack pond stuff, but it looks like I don't. What I could use though is maybe use this. But then what's the point of this wall here? Okay, the wall doesn't look that good anyways. I wish there was a Control Z in this game right now. I'm just gonna flatten it out to make the land a bit less derpy. I hope you can emphasize that I'm just experimenting a little bit here. Or, I don't know. Emphasize wasn't the word, but I don't know what the word is. Empathy, something about empathy. This is pretty much what I'm looking for, but that wall doesn't really make sense. What is this? It's just a stream. Whatever. Sometimes you just gotta say whatever. Okay. So I'm gonna use some streams. I want these streams to be a bit random, but not too random, because I do think the idea, I guess, is that these used to be part of something, maybe, of some previously existing structure. So I'm gonna be using some small and medium-sized homes around this neighborhood. I guess at some points it can run parallel to a street and just be like a extra ditch. Sometimes it can be in the backyard. But then what I'm gonna... I guess I'm gonna just... Let's just start by building something. I'm just gonna build a shape and then see what kind of shapes look interesting with that shape. This is gonna be a bridge. As long as you're building, you're not building, and you're going somewhere, is the idea here. Yeah, I think I'll use because this is gonna be a bit of an end, I guess. And then it's just this little island there. I don't know, maybe some ducks can find a safe space to build their nests over there. And then, since I decided that there's gonna be Petmol bypass here, and normally the Petmol bike paths are meant to simulate bike paths, but on this occasion I think it's a mixture of bike and pedestrian paths. Like that. Seems to make sense. This area is empty now. Wonder if I could just put some shops here, maybe. And I think I might do some offices actually at some point. Maybe just the one office. Holding control to make one block. And then fill in this area around there a bit later. That's probably gonna be a T or a crossing. Let's just start with a T. And we kind of want some homes around here. So what we also want is a road here. And I think I'll do some of those things. And just plant some homes around those. I'm not sure what I want. Maybe something like that. I leave some empty space so I can put some plants and stuff around later. Now these small squares, they might look super small, but they're supposed to be simulating 16 by 16 meters, which is pretty large. At least where I live for a home with a backyard. So this being 32 by 32, that should be some pretty wealthy residents, but they tend to be mid-wealth only. I guess what the game sees as wealthy or high wealth is actually ridiculously high wealth. It's not just people having a little bit more to spend, but I guess it's like the top 1% that they tend to talk about in the news and stuff. I'm just building something here. I think what I want to do around here is have this path touch these backyards and then go over here and connect to the road, and then let's just make this like that. I think also what I want to do is I want to use a different SAM texture in this area versus the rest. So I'm going to use these texture changing areas, and they might not allow me to build zoning next to them. I'm not sure. They do stop. I'm gonna use the Japanese one for the station area because it uses, I've set it up in a way that it fills in the area with pavement instead of leaving a bit of that grass stuff. And I think I'm gonna use one of the red bricks in this area because since it's so low density, I don't think it needs a line in the middle of the road to indicate. Yeah, these bends tend to dirt out the thing a bit. Okay. So you kind of want to make these bends after you've made them transition into the SAM texture. I'm not sure if this is gonna work. It might not work, and I'll just remove that little bit and maybe make this one or this one a home, but that's fine. And I'm just gonna make this into the same texture for now. So I'm not quite sure yet how far I'm gonna go. I think I'm actually not gonna go farther than that, and I'm just gonna make a bit of a cliff that slowly transitions into normalcy. Maybe. I don't know how it's gonna look. But what I do want to do is put a stream next to this road, just because I think that might look interesting enough. And the annoying thing about lots like this is that the arrow tends to want to point towards a street or a road. So when you put them down like that, you have to hold your mouse really still and then rotate it. And then some micro movement causes that to still derp out. And I'm calling it a micro movement, but I don't have a good reason for calling it a micro movement. So that's the idea over there. Yeah, I had decided that I wanted to do a pedal bike path in this direction. Some nice flowers over there. Well, maybe I'll make a little bit of a roundabout here. Not sure how realistic that is. But they're designed to look like bike paths, but let's just imagine that they're just pedestrian paths mainly. I'm looking for the one pointing that direction. Oh, okay. Let's go for the straight ones. I think this area looks already pretty nice. I guess it's going in that direction. I think maybe, yeah, maybe I'll change this a bit and make it go further out a little bit, and I think I'm just gonna flatten some more land here. The ideal pattern is like a checkerboard or a chessboard pattern for flattening land, but it's not always letting you place all the bits. It tends to have more trouble with those areas, with the like the corner kind of thingies. Okay, I've made it square now. I think what I want to do is just make it a double on both sides and leave it at that, and then just clear this out for a little bit. There we go. So the idea is to have some of these around here, and then use some of these. Now since I know it's absolutely flat, I can just use the triple long ones, and yeah, why not? Ah, that's annoying. Well, somehow there's gonna be, because what I was planning is have a little bit of a road in here, maybe something like that, and I guess it's gonna go out like that. So what I want there is another bridge, and then a corner. Maybe it'll end up being a T or a cross intersection. We don't know yet. Do I want to go a bit in a diagonal here, or maybe even make a little bit of pond? I think a pond might be interesting. So let's just do these, and then yeah, corner, don't move the mouse. I'm just trying to be a bit random, but it's kind of hard to really be random about things. And I guess I might as well put some lily pads in here. And scroll down through the streams. Yeah. So I think this bike path is just gonna end up over there, maybe? I'm not sure what this is gonna look like. I think I'll do another one like this, maybe? And have this be smooth and later on. So I guess this is the road. And I haven't really thought about how I'm gonna connect this road network up to the rest. There's a road over there, so I could maybe make something around here. But I think I'm just gonna connect it to that neighborhood over there. So that's that area maybe done. Let's just put down some zoning. So as you can see here, when you zone something, it prioritizes the streets as one of the lowest priorities, and the pet malls for some reason are a little bit higher. So it tends to want to point the zoning towards a pet mall more than it wants to point towards a street. Yeah, I think I think maybe this. Though what am I gonna do with this path? Yeah, I think maybe the path is gonna go like that, and this is just gonna be a bit of a open area. So I did the zoning there. Something like that, I guess. And then put these back. So the idea of these paths is that they run by as many backyards as they can to enable people to easily walk towards the station or towards the jobs that they might have around this commercial area. And let's just put some more shops in here. Maybe this can be a little bit of a marketplace. I'm not sure. And I guess maybe some offices around in this direction. Maybe something, a couple of 2x2s. Let's use control here. That might look alright. Does this road over here make sense? Yes, it kinda does. If I put some residential along it. But there's these pet malls here that I'm just gonna preemptively remove. And I think I'll leave a little bit of a gap for a tree or whatever. Alright. I think I'll make this. I kind of want to do a pattern here where I go like a fractionally angled kind of diagonal. Well, I guess every angle is fractional, but I'm gonna do 2 spaces and then shift. Maybe that looks cool. I don't know. It might look weird, but I might just add a bunch of grass and make it look normal. Let's just do a diagonal over there for now. Although I need some more space over here, and I might try to create a perfect circle kind of shape. Let's go 3. Oh, that is not what I wanted. Does this work? No. Okay, I'm trying to make a bit of a circle here. And for that I want to do this symmetrically. So at first I do a step of 3. Now I'm going for a step of 2. And I'm gonna maybe do something like this. So there's 3 here, 2, a 1, 2, 3. The problem here is that this one got dirt a bit, but it's not really a problem, because I can fix it like that. So it might look a bit too flat now. Whatever, if I put some trees over there it's fine. So this might look a bit like a circle now, I don't know. And now the question is, do I just want to put a road there? Maybe make it a bit of an outside road, or a pond or whatever. Let's see if I can make something. Well, the road is coming in over here, so maybe not a road. Let's just see what it looks like if I connect it all up. And it looks weird. So let's see what it looks like if I make something with pond pieces. I guess you'd have like a starting area over here maybe. And let's just fill in the straight ones that I know about. And then the corners that I know about. The outer corners. And I think maybe something, maybe this one is a bit bigger and goes a bit like that. I do tend to like the irregular shapes more around ponds, because they just tend to look way too designed when they don't have that. Not sure if there's gonna be a stream here, but I guess there might be. And oh, okay. Yeah, let's do some inner corners. I guess there's gonna be an inner corner at least over there, or maybe earlier. And I might just go with a wider one. And there's definitely one over there. So if it stays like that, it's gonna look like this. I'm not sure if... Yeah, I think I do want to have the space. So it's then gonna look like this. That looks a bit weird right now, but I think I can make this look a lot more diagonal with some plants and decorations. So I'm not gonna worry too much about that. And just put some lilies around. Maybe give them a bit of a rotation so they don't look like a copy pasta. Yeah, that looks a bit more random. So maybe something like that. And let's assume this is gonna be the road or the street. Let's also assume. For some reason that word sounds super weird right now. And like that, make this around it. And this little extra bit makes me able to make that rounded, which I like. And yeah, so there's all this extra space for some more residential. I think I'll do them in twos, just to have a little bit of a pattern in that area. And it looks like this stream is gonna make a bridge. And I could connect this up like that, actually. I think I'll do something like that. Which means I kind of like this little divot. So I think I'll curve upwards. Can I do that? Yes, I can. I think how I'll do it is, well, I could just show you, but I also want to talk about it. So I'll make the transition piece over here and then have it go a bit straighter than it did before. And well, if I'm not explaining it well, at least I'm showing it. And I'm not gonna overdo the lily pads, so I'm just gonna put an empty bit of water over there. I think that looks cool. But that might just be me. Might do a connection around here. Because well, why not? I'm trying to be fast, but I'm also trying to just take my time and build something that I like. So I'm not sure yet how this is gonna continue. I think I'm gonna keep the wall as is right there. And I can just flatten that later if I need to. There's some Vedmol stuff there. I think what I like is to have a bit of symmetry there on that street. Might look a bit too organized, but I might pop up in similar homes, and then that might just have been a project of somebody designing that area. Yeah. Let's just put some homes around here. I'll keep this open. Maybe I'll put some pavement in there. I'm just trying to be random around that. And over here is, I think, gonna be the connection. Whoa, please don't crash. Please don't crash. Okay, I'm just gonna put a bit of an anchor over there and try to smooth it out with the rails. I think that worked. Maybe it looks better if I do it like that. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think that looks alright. It's smooth enough for me. And I think over here I'll do the transition towards whatever is on the other one. And that's of course... Okay, it's just generic streets over there. I'll still have to think about how I connect it up over there. Maybe it doesn't make sense to make this a super straight street. Well, maybe it does make sense, but maybe it's not cool. So let's just... Does that work? No, need to go over one further. Yep, and then I guess it just lines up like that. Why not? So this is a bit of an excluded little area. Whatever. It might be less excluded in the future. I think what I'll do is something like that. Maybe make this a bigger home. No, it's fine to have a bit of a garden around. And I think it makes some sense. Oh yeah, I had these Batman bike paths around here. I think what I want to do is make a little bit of a bridge then. Or do I just let it end like that? Or maybe I just let it go like that. Yeah, I think that's fine. So, let's put the corners first. Yeah, whatever. Straights. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Boop, boop. Yeah, why not? Put a bit of a extra bridge there. I think bridges look cool, so I might be the only one who thinks bridges look cool. And they do look a bit weird with these Batmobile bike paths. Oh, I could put some of this on the bridges wherever they cross the ponds, so it looks a bit less weird. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, I'm just looking around, seeing what is next. I think I'll do a road Oh, um, let's connect that up. So there's apparently a pedal bike path coming out here. I think I'll do a bit of a shape over here. Oh, okay. Let's just plan out the shape. And then I'll do a bike path that goes around it, maybe. Let's take some extra space, maybe. Maybe shape like that. And I guess I might as well make it symmetrical on that road. Something like that. Let's just see what it looks like when I build it. And see what I can do with the center of it. It looks a bit weird, maybe. What would it look like if I do this? Yeah, okay, cool. I'll make it like that. Let's first do yeah, I kind of want to do that same SimCity texture. That's the wrong one. Let's just see if that is gonna happen. Okay. Maybe it works like this. Yes, for now it works. And let's go around. Okay. I think I like that shape. It's interesting enough to me. And let's just see where we can even zone around this thing. I'll flatten this out actually. Yeah, up to there. I think just, oh wait, I might want to flatten this out as well, since I need some bike paths still around here. Oh, there's a bit of a diagonal cliff. I think it looks cool. I'm just weird like that. I think I'm actually gonna make the bike paths go like that. Or the walking paths or whatever paths. So, alright, let's go into the Padmol menu. Let's just do some corners here. I guess I'm doing a bridge. Ooh, I'm not sure how I'm gonna be doing that. I could do a longer bridge. Well, sometimes the bulldoze tool doesn't always work. I think I'll do a longer bridge with the pond pieces. So back to bike paths. So it's gonna be like that for the bike paths. And T intersection there. And do something. Maybe a bit of a corner there. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't fill out those other corners yet. T and a corner. Yeah, so that's kind of what I had in mind, but there's still this thing there. So what I'll do is make one of those and just put a bit of a tunnel. And this is going to be very limited in its capabilities of pondness, because there's like only these squares that aren't used right now. So I'm not sure what I can do there, but I think I'll just make a cross intersection or crossing. Do I have a crossing? Yeah, I think I should have a crossing. There's a T. Huh. Unless I'm just not seeing it. This set doesn't have a crossing. That's so weird. But whatever. I'll just make a T then. And put an end, like an ending like there. And it's either there or there. I think it's gonna be there. Why not? Looks a bit weird right now. Might look less weird once I'm done there. I guess. Why not put a home? Oh yeah, what? Why would it? Okay. I don't know why I did that. I think I'll just put something of a park maybe there. I'm really not sure about a lot of this stuff. Okay, so I think I put a big home over there actually. Doesn't want to face the road. He still doesn't want to face the road. Yes. Makes sense to have a bit of a home here. So I'm just gonna let this play a bit. Let's put some water down and stuff. Make sure they have power. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the wrong one. One, two, three, 1, 2, 3. It's only you can water a bit, but whatever. Huh. There's some areas here. Oh, that was also only canal. I think they should have power because the canals transfer power, and I don't really want to go into overview, so I think I'll just let this play out for a bit and see what grows. Okay, I'm just gonna pause it there because I like the market stalls. So I'm gonna make those historical first, and I'm gonna think about these other two shops. I don't know what they're supposed to be. I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. I guess they're like a bar or whatever. Bar Ritz. They look very much like the Padmol thingies that I have, but it's fine. Yeah, why not? There's like a hot dog stand or something. Exotic essences. I think I like most of them. Not being super critical. I think in general the mix of different buildings in an area like that is nice. And I'm gonna make this one, I'll make the corner one historical, and I'll just let that be whatever it wants to be in the future. And okay, so there's a lot of European stuff, or a lot of these growing, which is probably because I have this European style selected. So let's just do anything but European for a while, because I don't want more of those diagonal thingies growing. And then once I'm done with that, with this area developing, I'll use the historic tool for and make these things historic, but I might just do that off camera. And here I have a little area with maybe some more houses. So that's probably, yeah, let's just see how it develops. Local road, education. Oh, there's a school that is not being funded properly. Yeah, my population has been growing a bit. Right now I have enough jobs for about 80,000 residents. And yeah, so that's why I started by building a bunch of more homes. Although, of course, this is not really gonna put a big dent in the whole demand for residential development. I wonder why that is. Oh, that might be with this, but this one's not complaining, so I'm just gonna see what's going on with this one. Okay, it's fine now. I hope these also develop something. These roundabouts always I don't know why they tend to do that. I guess it's just a simulator simulating that there's somebody driving there, and the mod that I'm using has the persistent cars. They need to travel X amount of blocks before they get to despawn. I'm just gonna put it at normal speed and start to make some things that are like historic. So they have to travel like 8 blocks or whatever before they despawn. And yeah, I think I like those taller buildings around here. So that results in them getting stuck in a roundabout, because I guess it's like a 50-50 chance that either they pull off or something like that. I don't know. And they don't despawn because they keep going around. So it might just be bad to build roundabouts with that mod, but I think it's kind of funny. Yeah, some of these are diagonal. They are part of a different diagonal set by the same author that made those wall-to-wall diagonals. And it's a bit more because it's not wall-to-wall, it's like standalone houses. But it has a lot more shapes of the building footprint. I'm not sure if I should make all of these historical. Some of them don't look nice enough, I think. But these do. So they have like 1x3s, 2x2s, I believe, maybe even 3x3s. Though the problem with 2x2s and 3x3s along a diagonal is that only one of the 4 blocks of a 2x2 is going to be touching the road, and you're not guaranteed that it's going to develop into a 2x2 building. It might split up the zone into 2 1x2s, which would result in one of them not being connected to a road, and then you get the green no road access signs. Don't know if it should be this thorough around here. I don't know. It's a very tiny garage. If you look at one of these cars, and okay, let's not overthink these kind of things. Let's see what pops up over here. I like the diagonals. The diagonal homes. I always rotate the camera the wrong way around at first. I think, yeah, I don't know, it's just unintuitive for me for some reason, I don't know. Okay, but this is how I started. I think I'll just do some plans for a bit, maybe, but it's been a pretty long video already. What I'll do is I'll turn on the sun and night thingy, and I'll just record this for a while and probably speed up this bit so you can see a gradual change into nighttime right around now. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did, feel free to leave a like and maybe even subscribe if you want to see more. Hope to see you again. Goodbye.